What's up, guys? Happy Monday. April 14th, 2025. Plenty of baseball tonight. 10 games. 8 on the main. 2 on this weird pre-gamer. What's up, Pojin? What's up, Cujo? What up, Josh? Michael? GS here. How we doing tonight? You guys have a good weekend? It was yesterday. What did we do? Yesterday I went to Dallas. Downtown. Won $32 bonus bet on Fanduel. Daily shuffling last week. They expired July 19th, so I've been playing some hockey points. Couple 2 base props to hedge my bomb bets. Yeah. Hedging the bomb bets is big. That's been like my most profitable tickets. Oh, Monday. Forgot to register. I'm not too sure what I want to play, but let me go register if I need to unregister later. Chad, it has been record levels of hot in Texas. Yesterday, the 13th, we hit the all-time record for temperature on the day. Literally last week, I had the heater on. Like I don't know. I don't like this. I don't love it. I love it. What up, Travis? What up, Choke? Appreciate that sub. Big $5 on DK. I think I saw a tweet. Maybe it was Eric or Greg. Somebody tweeted that there's a $3 mini max tonight. That looked pretty cool. Yeah. What up, Josh? At Torkelson, 2 bases plus 105 hits plus 250. Well, okay, all right. We're with it. Nice. I was up last night working on some stuff that involved learning AI. Guys, AI is insane. I was able to make like incredible quality music within like 5 minutes. I did, and then I watched some of this Canva presentation from the other night. This is gonna blow up fast. I mean, this is it's almost scary, but it's also cool at the same time. Some of the stuff I was able to make so with just like no effort. But wow. So I fed it a prompt to write us a theme song, but I don't think it's gonna work. Just for giggles. But if it does kick in, okay, so I fed one AI a prompt to write a theme song about this show, and then I fed it to another AI software that makes the music. So we might have something funny to listen to in a little bit. But I was writing the dumbest songs last night. Like I was telling AI, I just fostered a new dog, and I have a cat. I was like, write a song about a superhero dog and his arch nemesis cat, and they live inside the same house, but they don't fight in front of humans. It's when the human it was like the coolest song. I was like, what is this, dude? I don't know. Maybe I'm just easily entertained. What's up, Nicreasy? My part of Texas as well, dude. Cujo, it's hot out here, dude. I'm about to. I have to charge my head shaver and get the cutting, dude. I can't have no grass on the field right now, bro. This is summer. It's freaking It's crazy. Is it suicide to stack against Yankees and use Lugo as one of your pitchers on DraftKings? I haven't. It's not suicide to stack against Carlos Carrasco. That's for sure. Lugo is a little bit more risky. Obviously, I think the Yankees offense, we all know, is better than the pitching. I certainly wouldn't be trepidatious to stack against the Yankees. I have pitched against the Yankees, but it's with upper echelon. And Lugo's not bad, but I don't know if he's at that level where I want to click his name. But looking at names on this slate, I guess Scooble, Bramber, there's a couple of high end, and then you get a pitcher against the Rockies. That's pretty much a free square, right? Like, it doesn't even matter at this point. So it's that part maybe where you lose me, but I don't think it's crazy to stack against Carlos Carrasco. Absolutely not. Cheerios Brewers, dude, stolen base plus 550. Nice. Will Yanks make the playoffs? There's a couple of sputtering out the gate in the AL East, so I think they can take these punches. But even if they make the playoffs, like, that doesn't matter. To make the playoffs is whatever. You gotta do something in the playoffs, and right now they are not set up to do anything with the pitching they got. So I would say I would lean yes, but I also say they're gonna have to be shoppers real quick. And usually the shopping line doesn't move until the trade deadline, like the All-Star break. And in order to shop and buy, the currency for buying rentals is prospects. And a lot of the Yankees prospects are already being used. There's a couple. So Cashman has been a little cheap. So unless he's gonna take on bad contracts as a part of his shopping spree, I'm not entirely sure what his pocketbook looks like, right? You could buy any free agent you want, but when you start trading for mid-season acquisitions, it's a lot more than money. It's organizational swerves, and usually a team that. So, for instance, the year the Cubs won the World Series, they traded Gleyber Torres to the Yankees as part of a package, to get Aroldis Chapman, and that was when Chapman was top of his game, and then they started using Chappie for everything, and then Chapman came back. So basically, Cashman rented out Chapman, got Gleyber Torres, which he was great, and then you look at like the deal for like Juan Soto to the Padres involved a lot of what's making the Nationals scrappy right now. And then inversely, the deal for Soto to the Yankees involved Michael King and a couple of and you saw what Michael King did last night. So it's more the money. And the Yankees don't get the fair market price more than likely. So it just depends on what they can do for that. Rockies are on pace to be worse than the White Sox from last year. Probably be given that. Yeah, Rockies just look bad. What's up, Jesse? Will the Braves make the playoffs? So I got a theory, not a theory, but it kind of goes in line with what I'm saying with the Yankees. I don't think the Braves do. And I think the Braves are smart enough to kind of realize that. And what the Braves should probably do is trade Chris Sale, like be a seller for Chris Sale at the deadline. And maybe, and I know Mr. Yankee over here, I'm like, yeah, Chris Sale could be the Yankee, but like any contender right now that's like on the edge, they should be looking at the worst winning percentage than the Marlins Braves and being like, hey, Chris Sale is the epitome of one of those, Verlander, Max Scherzer type rentals. I think he's only got one more year on his deal, maybe two. I think it's just one. So I don't think the Braves will make the playoffs, and I think if that hole gets too deep, and I don't think it's a bad thing either. If you're a Braves fan, you can't win them all. Let Acuna get healthy. Ozzy, let these guys get healthy. Use Sale to go get a prospect or two. And Profar's done did what he did. Talk it up. Let's reload. Nationals playing the Pirates today. 3.2 run total for the National. Pirates 4.5. It's Paul Skeens Day in PNC Park. This is part of the two games that are not on the main slate. So real quick, Paul Skeens obviously at the top of our interest here. Nationals are a little bit scrappy in the K rate department. But Paul Skeens is Paul Skeens. Brad Lort starting for the Nationals. Hasn't been able to miss many bats so far. I think this is a kind of a vomit game. The other game is the Phillies and the Giants. And on a 2-game slate, if you're stacking offenses, you're probably gonna play everybody, and likely have to accept that Paul Skeens on a slate that involves Landon Roop, Taijuan Walker, and Brad Lort. This might be the highest ownership of a pitcher ever. Like he might be 100% up. So you just have to roll with it. And I almost don't want to mislead people here on if you're in the premium spreadsheet. 2-game early slate. Like I'm just gonna put pitchers here. You guys are gonna play every offense on that slate. Braves will sell Ozuna in a few months. Yeah, Ozuna too. If you flip the Ozuna surge, it almost doesn't make sense, but like I'm not rooting for downfall. But if you would have told me, hey Gun, guess which Brave just got popped for drugs, I'm like, oh, Ozuna. No, who didn't know? Profar, I guess so. But it makes sense for Profar when you look at his body of work versus history versus lately. But Ozuna would have been the one I would have been like, oh yeah, okay, all right, explains that. Let's go do a pitcher projection for this game. I guess first and foremost, let's go look at outs projected. Bring back the Chinese restaurant background music. Honestly, dude, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you what that even was part of. I just be typing no copyright instrumentals and click and play on a playlist. They didn't give us that game. All right, we're just gonna hand put some stuff. So for Lort, we're gonna give him a run-of-the-mill 18% K rate. We're gonna go 30% on Paul Skeens. Oh, great. We'll go 8. It's just a basic projection. There's no projection in the world that's not gonna make Paul Skeens the #1 pitcher on that 2-game. Let's go 14.5 and 18. Ozuna and Cincy? That would be crazy. I feel like if I'm Cincy though, like those teams that are potential buyers, is Cincy's 8-8. I feel like the buyers for those rentals need to be win now teams. Reds still have a young core to build around Ellie and Hunter Green. Like, I like the sense of urgency is for like the teams like the Yankees, where Aaron Judge is 32, Cole's not a thing, but the Padres kind of sneaky window closing, kind of. I don't know. But Ozuna in that park would be ridiculous. It's just like, what would you have to give up to get Ozuna if you're Cincy? I don't know. It'd be fun. It would be fun for DFS. Like, Ozuna's not really somebody I want. What up, Nate D? You doing all right? Will Acuna be back for the Braves? Yeah, he's just hurt. Why do you think the Phillies don't get over the hump? Bad hitting or bad pitching? I think it's bad bullpen. You know? I feel like they've had a couple late collapses in the last couple years. Like, Aaron Nola's fine. Jesus Luzardo, fine. The offense went clicking. I mean, it's very balanced. But you gotta keep the walls up. You like under 6.5 Ks for Skeens? Let's see. I put 18 outs, and it spit back 6.39. I don't know. I mean, Skeens is just, he's generational. Like, I don't want to bet Ks. I don't want to sweat unders, especially such a low number. I mean, the projection did come back lower. And it's not like he's got a 28% carry this season. Still close to 30. I'm gonna give him that 30. The math says under, but the math is only on 6 innings. So if you think he goes less, which I really got nothing to suggest that. You think he goes more, you know, that 6.3 goes up really, really fast. So the word like is a little rough for me to get. I'll say I'll understand it, and the early projection gets it at 6. But if he goes 7 and you start shoving, I can't project him for less than a strikeout per inning. I just can't. And yeah. What up, Smeezy? Got Mays over 7.5 Ks. Torkelson, Ozuna, Albies over 1.5 bases for 16.5 to 1 on pick 6. Nice. Hong Kong trap music. All right, the next game on this early slate, and then we'll matriculate on to the May slate. Yeah, I should have went and got an energy drink. Guys, I went and got Daisy, by the way. Today's day 4. And now we're starting to see, you know, a little confidence in her step, which is what it warms my heart. And I haven't heard her speak. She hasn't barked, she hasn't whimpered, she hasn't whined. She just looks at me in silence. She's pretty submissive, and you know, if I tell her to go in the kennel, she'll do it. And I've introduced her a little bit at a time to the backyard to try and trust her in the backyard. That way she doesn't have to be locked up all the time if I'm in the office or if I gotta leave. Anyway, I was like, all right, so I'll put her outside and I'll go take a shower. I'm in the shower and I hear like barking, and it was the dumbest thing, but it was like seeing your kid's first words, but missing it, but hearing it. So I quickly went to the dining room to look out my back window, and she's just sitting at the back door, like she's calling for me. And that was so special. So I'm a proud puppy dad today. But I put her back outside though, because I don't want her to be in the kennel. And right now she's a little too curious, and I gotta make sure she's not gonna chew up some stuff. Landon Roop on the bump for the Giants. 4 and 6 innings for him last couple games, around 80 pitches. Man, it's almost the same pitcher going at it, huh? I guess Roop's kind of went and got some more strikeouts. That Roop, that is the deal. Keeper, we might. What's up, Quinn? 172.2, 250K is holy crap. But he was a K guy. Well, I mean, I've told him she's 100%. Well, she's been transferred to long-term foster for me. But my usual work is to work with dogs that need a little more. This guy is a strikeout artist. That way, you know, a family's more likely to be ready to adopt them. And then I give me the next troubled dog. I feel like I do dogs more service that way than to make one good one and keep her for 10 years. But like I got room, so like I could have 3 dogs back there if I wanted, but baby steps, you know. Yeah, Roop is definitely a strikeout guy. Guess he would probably end up being, if you look at strikeout propensity, not named Skeens, yeah, I think he would have to be in play here, yeah. You're just hoping for positive points on DK. Both offenses definitely in play. Yeah, I have a cat. Bought the cat. The cat cost me like $350, man. And when I got her, I was in my other house, which was half a shop, half the house. And I was playing Fortnite one night, and I looked, and I've been thinking about getting a cat. And I looked over, and I saw a mouse. I'm getting a cat. Next day, I went and got a cat. So she's Mouse Patrol, but she's laid back Cadillac Jack, just like me. So, and most of the dogs are cool with her. And at one point, we had 2 dogs here. It was Woodpecker, and my girlfriend at the time had a pit bull, and that was the chillest pit I've ever met. And Mari, my cat, hadn't had negative run-ins with dogs yet. And the crazy thing I saw is that pit bull would eat dog food, and Mari would just come up sniffing her food while she's eating, and she didn't care. Well, then Mari tried to pull that with another dog I brought home, and that dog didn't like it, so I had to intervene. Now, ever since that, Mari has not been trusting these random dogs I bring home. So, but I think she'll warm up to Daisy. Giants have a 4.5 run total. Phillies 4.7. So I think this is where a lot of the interest in offense is going to come from. 2-game slate. You're gonna have to differentiate and find leverage spots by grabbing who you think might do well in this Pirates or Nats game, because it seems really obvious that people are gonna land on Phillies at a high percentage. Phillies and Skeens is probably like the anchor of the field. But so even if you got Skeens in your lineup, it might not be crazy to go unlock like a James Wood. And this is again just 2-game theory. And kind of go from there. What up, Marco? You're female cat. Yeah. What up, Bill? Really want a dog, but buying a new puppy seems wrong for me since I never owned a pet. Foster, dude. Every shelter in America is begging for fosters. My shelter has a overnight rover program. You basically, hey, let's go pick a dog, take it home for the night, sometimes 2 nights, and make a decision. Fostering is there's a commitment, but it's not a lifelong commitment. And even if you bring the dog back after a couple months, that dog didn't sit in a high stress shelter for that time. And some of these shelters will put them down if they need space. So if it's been on your heart to get a dog, I think fostering is a good taste. Even if you just get an idea of what you need. Like, all right, I went and got this dog for a week. and I realized I need a kennel. I need a leash. It needs attention. It needs to walk. Am I ready for this? Blah, blah, blah. Always, fostering is such a good thing to do. You don't have to adopt a dog. It'd be nice. That's the goal, but there's other ways to help out. I do a lot of I guess I'm spilling the beans now, but for the last couple of years I've been working a lot with dogs and businesses and that involve dogs. It's just kind of always been something I do. When I was younger, little story time. I feel like I'm on the couch right now. I was probably around 15, 16, 17 when we had the Hurricane Katrina, and then leading into Hurricane Helen, I want to say, maybe Helen, I don't know. There was another hurricane that came after Katrina, and it was like, oh no, not this again. And people were fleeing Louisiana, coming into Texas, coming up I-45, and I lived in a town called Huntsville at the time, and it was just, I had to go help. And I helped run a desk for the Red Cross at some church in Huntsville, you know, taking all the refugees in. It was crazy. Long story short, I think I went 30 hours no sleep. I was at the desk, and then they were like, all right, let's start figuring out who's working here. And then they found out I was 16. They're like, yo, you can't. I was like, all right, cool. Well, then I ended up getting in contact, or somebody reached out and said, hey, there's a shelter at the fairgrounds that's specifically for animals, for all these people fleeing their homes. And I was like, I want to go help. And I took over that thing. It was like a week. It was like every animal. And I felt like modern Noah's Ark, just walking around talking and, you know, all these animals. And it's just like, I loved helping animals. But some of those people felt so entitled. I need this, I need that. We're trying. But the animals, dude, they're just awesome. So I don't know, maybe that like kind of lit a flame in me early. We're not playing Carlos Carrasco. We are interested in the Royals in this game. A little bit interested in the Yankees. Some people were talking about Seth Lugo, 18% K rate on the season, a 6.8% swing and strike rate. Now, historically, numbers are better, and I think there's room to get better. But even at his 3-year best, which you give him a 23% K rate and just a 9% swing and strike rate, it's not super elite, and a little bit more on the contact side against the Yankees team that, if you don't strike him out and allow them to make contact, they got a lot of power, and they're dangerous. Ben Rice is looking like a stud, dude. You guys got to see Mr. Rice's freaking baseball savant page. Look at this, man. This is not fair. There's so much red. I mean, wow. So this guy becoming their leadoff guy, top 1% in expected slugging, 486 expected WOBA, top 1%. All right, this guy's nuts. I'm not gonna say it's left-handed judge, but the kid is unreal right now. And this is kind of what we saw. Speaking of Mari, hey girl. This is kind of what we saw in spring, you know. Oh, she heard us talking about her. Mari's fake. She likes she pretend like she wants you to pick her up, and then you pick her up, and she's like, what? Okay. Go back down. So we're stacking the Yankees. We're stacking Royals. Not playing Cookie. I'm leaning towards not playing Lugo. But yeah, how's Carrasco still in the league? It's emergency. They got no other option. Huntsville, Texas, yeah. What up, Jim Paris? An increase in bat speed. Yeah, he's nuts, dude. Stanton's injury. Yeah, Stanton's injury definitely opened up the door for Rice to kick it in, and you're just not going to be able to send him. Like, he's here to stay. You can't send that back, but it's going to make them make some moves, make some decisions. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it turns out long term to be a positive thing, but I don't think the offense for the Yankees was ever like the question. Even in I guess there's been games where they're scoring 0 runs, but that happens. It's the freaking pitching, bro, and you just can't get past Cookie being a pitcher in the major league level right now. That's not why I stepped away. But it did open more time for that. Before I stepped away from DFS 2 years ago, this was 15-16 hours a day, and afterwards I had a lot more time. I was able to do some stuff. Oh, in a house. I went from apartment to house, so I was able to do that. A lot of red for Cookie. Your first love is Fat Shack fried Twinkies and Oreos and funnel cake, but so expensive. Oh, Jan, how are you alive? Like every night you're in here drinking grease out of a baby bottle. Like, what would it be? You're a medical miracle. Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. is just Hardee's, y'all. Just go to Hardee's. You like Vinny P? Yeah, if we're looking at Carrasco, he's so bad. Like, I don't want to. Bobby Witt, Vinny Pasquantino, certainly grade extremely well. Oh, by the way, I guess we can put the early pitching and stack ratings up for the other teams if subscribers are playing that. We'll go that. No surprise. The Giants, Phillies, the top 2 in stack rating, and Pittsburgh bottom. Then we'll go pitcher rating. Getting hot up in here. I didn't give Roop a rating. It just says 1. That Roop's at 50, we'll give him 15. Alex Walker 15. Oh, and I'm gonna give Roop a 23% K rate, but I think there's room to go 25. We'll go 25. Like I said, the projection is really not gonna matter on that slate. You just know, more like a ranking. You lost your Bear membership. Favorite stack and single entry on DK? Man, JB, I'm literally on the first game, brother. I don't think it would be fair for me to answer that right now. Just a quick scroll. I don't know, because single entry, you kind of do want to gauge ownerships. It would be way too easy to say Dodgers, but I would assume Dodgers come with the highest ownership in a single entry. So you want to be a little contrarian. You ain't got to be like crazy contrarian, unless you mix the Dodgers with a super contrarian stack or go like 4-4. I think you would start with like Dustin May and at least three Dodgers, and then kind of shuffle in from there. Might be a pitching night though. Scooble, Cease, May. No. There's a Fat Shack in Denton. Are you near there? I'm not. I was near there yesterday though. My son was born in Denton. I used to do some college security for UNT back in the day. Fat Shack. playing Dodgers in single entry. Yeah, I'm just assuming they're going to be the highest owned. I mean, almost a 6-run total. So you might be matching half the field, which is fine, like whatever your strategy is. But if you attach yourself to the highest concentrated ownership, you have to shuffle in like one of the lowest owned stacks that makes the most sense, you know? Fat Shack is a wild name. Fat Shack was actually my dorm room in college. Not a lot of people know that. Now you know it. That's a joke. Oh, we got to fill out the pitching here. The Lugo, I'll give him a 20% K rate here. And then walk wise, we'll go 7.5, taxing him a little bit. Cookie is just you just feel bad. We'll give him a 19, an 8. Lugo's at kind of coin flippy 17.5. Cookie's at 15. Cool. That gives us 5.7 Ks for Lugo, 4.39 for Carrasco. Lugo's strikeout prop is probably 5.5. Yeah. It is 5.5. But juice on the under. Remember, I gave him a little extra on his K percentage, so I can see it. I get it. What's your thought on the Braves tonight? That's in 2 games, but surface stats, sure. Get to the next game. Red Sox. Okay, so the Rays, we had we had Shane Baz on yesterday's slate, and then the Rays moved all the pitchers back a day. I don't know where the Rays be coming up with these kids, man, but man, homie yesterday threw gas. They just got some lab, but the Yankees need Yankees. We gave them our stadium. Come on. Tell me we got some cameras to figure this out. We need some Bill Belichick cameras in the sprinkler system or something, dude. We gotta figure this out. They're just inventing pictures. Meanwhile, we got Carlos Carrasco. Like, was running I've been working with the stochastic sims tool a little bit more. If you guys want to work with it, link in the description below. And it kept shoving me Rays yesterday, and I was learning how to kind of tweak what you take. But and then the Rays kind of, because I was like, man, it's Chris Sale. But the Rays kind of did their thing early on, and I was like, uh-oh. So here I am, like, oh, the Sims are killing it, and then I spent all night playing with AI. It's like, why are humans? There's no need for humans in like 10 years. So much like yesterday, Shane Baz didn't play. The matchup today, not as nice. This is 2 offenses that are dangerous, and you put them in a hitter-friendly Steinbrenner field. It is pushing 80 degrees, so we're actually gonna put a 1 on the weather grade, which so far there's like a -1, 0, 1, 2. I imperfect process, but it's my way to at least reward or appreciate the weather for the projection. So we're gonna up it to 1, and we're gonna look at Hawks' inability to miss bats over the course of the last 3 years. So far, he is on a 3-year low in K percentage, 3-year low in swing and strike rate percentage, a 3-year high in WHIP, a 3-year high in expected ERA, And that's not what you want. So the Rays are in a pretty solid spot here to kind of keep it going. Jonathan Aranda and Brandon Lau are going to be two guys that have been popping pretty frequently in the hitting models. And so far this season, Hawk, a 368 home run per nine with an elevated hard contact rate and a almost 30% line drive rate. So immediately we got to introduce the Rays to the top of our interest list. Look at Boston's recent bullpen usage. Chapman has gone 2 days in a row. So likely not going to see him in the 80 degree temps today. Whitlock did pitch yesterday. But then you start looking at the lesser arms here, right? So might be a good chance. If Hawk gets beat up early, might be able to get a full quality 8 innings of applied good at bats against the beatable pitching. So Rays there. Shane Baz, really good K stuff. The barrel rate's a little bit elevated. We want to see that come down. You might expect the K rate to come down as the swing and strike rate and the called strike not glaringly different than last year. And we looked at some of his pitch metrics yesterday. So I don't know that he's going to be a 30% K rate guy, but it's reasonable to be like at a 24%. So this is a Red Sox team that every day on paper, when you put against righties, there's a lot of WRC plus and a lot of reason to be scared. And it is a good environment for hitting today. So I'm going to be leaning to get exposure to both sides. Absolutely. But I guess the question is now, which do I rank higher, Baz or the Red Sox? So see what Tampa did with their bullpen lately. It's the same freaking division. What am I doing? Hello. Clevenger likely not available here. Mason Montgomery threw 18 pitches yesterday. Probably don't see him, but outside of that, so what is important, I think, is this likely means only one lefty is available. Like, it's not impossible for a bullpen guy to go 3 days in a row, but you feel like they try to stay away from that. And they have 2 lefties, Garrett Clevenger, Mason Montgomery. So if Clevenger's not available and Mason Montgomery, who did throw 18 bullets yesterday, is a maybe, this could be a righty heavy day for the Red Sox if they're able to wiggle Baz out of there early, and I think that's a plus for them. You look at this team, the Red Sox, this WRC plus column against righties, you flip it to lefties, it changes a lot. So that's a good sign for 9 quality at bats, or 9 quality innings of at bats against righties for a team that is certainly more effective lately since the beginning of last year against righties. So I think I'm gonna go Red Sox and then Shane Baz, but all of it's in the blender except Tanner Hawk. I'm not really there. Fried cheesecake bites, brother. Still need human logic with the AI for now. They were on that Shark Show. Their college buddy started in Colorado's restaurant. Fat Doobie Philly cheesecakes, dude. That's wild. Good for them though. I feel like my blood pressure rose just reading fried cheesecake bites. You dip in bread cheesecake? How does that work? That's cream cheese. I don't know. All right, moving on to the Braves and the Blue Jays. That ain't making me hungry, dude. Probably to go out for a ghost and a burger or something after this. Although, knowing me, we might have another hour and a half, 2 hours. I did do a preview of all the games this week, and it looks like tomorrow's going to be kind of the same as yesterday in terms of, if I'm remembering it correctly, in terms of how the slate's played out, and then Wednesday is like randomly day games. And we've been kind of going back and forth on the best time slot for these streams. A lot of you guys like the day, a lot of you guys like the night. But I'm thinking the short-term compromise is maybe we do some day streams on days where the games are all like 5:40 and 6. The thought being lineups would be out, markets would be set, we could do the projections on the stream. But I'm a little early on lineups today, and I think this happened the other day. And then in the second half of the stream, the lineups start come firing out. So Braves have a run total of 4.7. Blue Jays run total of 4.5. Got Grant Holmes taking on Easton Lucas. Holmes has realized a 1-in-4 K rate since the beginning of last year. Barrel rate so far in short sample this year is not what you want. I think Holmes is somebody that we saw decent K potential. Yeah, but we don't really have to go too deep in Grant Holmes, but in his minor league career, 735.1 innings, 764 strikeouts. Is this the guy that walked lefties at a crazy clip, or is that somebody else? There's somebody else. Good K pedigree though. And then Easton Lucas. Haven't got a big sample size for him in the major league level. We'll peek at the minor leagues a little bit. 245.1 innings in the minors, 280 Ks, so over a K per inning for him. Then we'll split them up from last year. 27 innings against lefties, 36 Ks, 53 against righties, 47 Ks, less than a K per inning against righties. And kind of a crazy walk rate. That's not what you want, especially the lefties. Go to the year prior. It could have been a 1 year. All right, so strikeout stuff is there for him. He has a better strikeout matchup against the Braves than Grant Holmes does against the Blue Jays. But both offenses are looking more interesting than the pitching in the Rogers Center. A 4.7 run total for the Braves. So let's rank it out this way then. We'll go Braves, Blue Jays. I'm kind of like, was it Sunday, Saturday? Like the tournament guy in me wants to be like, yeah, there's some strikeouts to be had here. Could we go out there and get them? And in Boston, we got 29 fantasy points on AKs. But is it a risk that's super necessary on a Scooble Cease May? I think so. I think we get there. So I'm gonna go Easton Lucas in the pool as well. And I'm probably gonna sit Grant Holmes out just because this Blue Jays team is so scrappy when it comes to strikeouts. So we'll go from there. Oh, I didn't do Hawk's projection. So Hawk, we're gonna give him a 18% K rate. We're gonna go on the walks. Let's go 9. Shane Baz, go 28 on the K and 8 on the walk. And then for Grant Holmes, let's go 25 on the K. And he is having some command issues, so I'm gonna tax him 10 on the walk. I'm gonna tax him 10.5 on the walk so I can find it. And for Lucas, I'm gonna go 26 and 8 walks. So outs projected for these guys. 18 for Hawk. They got Hawk going the distance here. And the Shane Baz. He's going the distance. 15 on Lucas, dude. They think Lucas is gonna get got. 15, and then Holmes at 15 and a half. So do we agree with that? I mean, it's respect to the Braves. 1 through 4 of the projected major ISOs, great WRC pluses. Maybe we're over respecting the small major league sample, or maybe over respecting the minor league sample, because that doesn't always transfer 1-to-1 so fast at the major league level. It feels like I wouldn't be like, yeah, no, he's definitely gonna get got. But and it's not like the Braves don't strike out. Kind of on the fence there. What's the K line on him? 3.5. Oh, it's shoving the over. I'd be all over that, obviously. That probably means we get a PrizePicks line right now, a push line at 4. I got him at 5.6. I'll take the 4 on PrizePicks without blinking. I'm just assuming that that's the PrizePicks line. I guess we can flip the board. I don't know, man. The historical data versus the big league data is kind of pulling me the other way. At least giving him some love for the strikeout propensities of PrizePicks. What up, Ayo? Here. Why do you factor in walk percentage in your K model? That's not really the K model. That's this is just the projection model. I do need to tweak it to kind of consider hits allowed more for the DraftKings, but basically it's considering the run total, the pitcher K percentage, the opposing team's K percentage, the pitcher walk percentage, the opposing team's walk percentage, writing like aggregate numbers, and then I feed it the outs based on the Vegas lines, and that'll auto populate the innings pitched, and then based on the outs versus these percentages, it'll give me a mathematical median for strikeouts, and then a mathematical median for walks. And the walks is more so to be considered for the projections over here on DraftKings. So this is a behind the scenes thing. So basically when we unlock the pitcher projections, like here, it's pulling the data from this worksheet. So it's kind of like an all-in-one. So yeah, this is where we're generating strikeout projections, but it's also where we're generating the fantasy point projections. So when we see walks will tax you on DraftKings. So let's see, we got Seth Lugo for 1.46 walks. Well, on DraftKings we need to know that, because that's gonna take off 0.71 points from the projection. So it's all together. No, you're good. Lucas is too expensive for you? 8K? Or you mean on Fanduel? Fanduel, I definitely don't think he's a necessary evil. On DK, 8K, I don't overthink pricing on DK. Yo, what up, Dantar? Just saw that. It's just a matter, go out there and get the most raw points. I think pitching is I don't know, I guess the spot where I'm most interested in the price. Like, was it yesterday or the day before, Reagan's was like 8,500. I was like, I wouldn't even blink at it if he was 10.5K. But I guess I'm more numb to that. But it's just a matter of like, I don't even think about the price. Like, even if a 11K guy is somebody you only expect to get 25 fantasy points, this is an NBA. I'll go take those 25 fantasy points because there's going to be some 2K homers. Yeah. But on FanDuel, I'm with you. FanDuel, you got to make one click, one name on a bullet, and you also want to feel good about the win and the quality start. And with the Vegas lines molding him at 5 innings, you know, it doesn't help. So DFS tennis, but that's satellite for Millie Best Ball NFL. 30 satellite for Millie Best Ball NFL. God dang, bro. Season just ended. Did we finish the projection on these pitchers? We did. All right, we'll move on. Mets and Twins. No, one homie loves that in chat or in the comments every day. I love that. I love that people get my 20-year-old references. It's great. Probably some 20-year-old youngsters in the streets too. I'm like, why does he do that? Read a book, okay? I think it was an old beer commercial. Clay Holmes is throwing baseballs for the Metropolitans of New York. He'll be up against the Twins. And Joe Ryan, who wants a mustache ride? Wait, we can't say that. He got canceled. Never mind. Sorry. So this projected lineup goes with what we saw over the weekend, where Julian was the leadoff guy. We've also seen Matt Warner lead off, so they might be trying to fill it out. Mets have a run total of 4, and the Twins a run total of 4.2. Interesting. All right, we'll start with Clay Holmes being an extreme ground ball getter. Does accompany it with a high K rate, but also this season a high walk rate. And this Twins lineup has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters in there projected with an aggregate 10% walk rate since the beginning of last year against righties, which could create traffic, but with the ground ball it could create double plays. And 7,500 on DraftKings. I'd probably be looking for something north of 20 fantasy points. Something he achieved against the lesser Miami Marlins, but also didn't achieve against the lesser Miami Marlins. I might be a sucker for Holmes. I think today I'm gonna hold off on throwing him too quick in the interest ranking. But if you look at site to site, I guess his skill set long term will be something that could overcome some strikeouts in the name of 6 innings for a 2K price increase from DK to FanDuel. So maybe. I think he does. I think I'm gonna put him down here because I do think if I'm running 150 on DraftKings, he's in the second spot. But I don't expect it. I don't expect him to go out there and get a ton of strikeouts, but he absolutely can. And then on the Twins side, with Joe Ryan pitching, I feel like every slate I'm cornered into liking the Mets. And there's a weather factor here that's got me interested. And if you guys have already researched before me, I'm looking up at a screen that shows me wind blowing out to right at 15, which would be great for lefty pull hitters. Joe Ryan is allowing a aggregate 48% fly ball rate. right now against lefties with a ridiculous hard contact rate. And hasn't given up a bomb this season to a lefty, but that seems more happenstance than anything, with just an 8% K rate. So, I guess what I'm saying is, I like the 4-run Mets, and I want to like the Twins, but Holmes he doesn't give up bombs, and he keeps the ball in the ground. So if they get there, it's likely from paper cutting runs across the board and then dipping into the pen. I don't know that the Mets have necessarily had to use upper echelon guys against, where were they, the Athletics. Edwin Diaz is fresh. Danik is fresh. There's some good arms that would be fresh to cut the game in half. So I'm more on Mets than Twins. And I don't think Joe Ryan should be completely ignored. You trust him to get back to a 1-4 K rate, 26%, 27% K rate guy. The Mets' first game after a little bit of travel, they certainly have strikeouts in their lineup. But 9K, a little fluffy, right? So I think I'm gonna leave him off the list right now. But he falls in that category of, I don't think you're crazy to play him. I'm just not super interested. Let's build out a projection. Go Clay Holmes at, give him a, I'm still gonna tax him a little bit for the strikeouts. I'm gonna give him a 24. That's 1-4. That's fine. And then for Joe Ryan, give him 23 until he can prove it. And for walk rate on Clay Holmes, I'm gonna go 11.5. And for Joe Ryan, 4, non-existent. Outs projected here for Clay Holmes. Look like I got a line on Clay. We got, oh wait, this is strikeouts. I'm dumb. I'm restarted. The kids say. I don't have an outline for him. I think with Clay, I'll go 17.5 for now. We'll come back and sweep it, and then for Joey, I'll go 16. I'll go 15. Yeah, I'll go 16 for now. Like some lineups are starting to roll out. Yo, is that Rich in the chat? What up, Rich? Explain Twins references to youngsters sound like explain my Sherman Atlanta reference. Whatever. Okay. All right. What up, Justin? Who's to talk today? I haven't looked at ownerships, but just quick glancing, the what I would deduce from my years of experience would be Dustin May and the Dodgers are where everyone starts, and it's the last game on the slate, and then you kind of go from there. And I would say the Royals probably pick up some steam against Cookie Carrasco, even though they somehow have a 0.6 lower run total than the Yankees. Dude, I don't know. Tat, what do you get on like a first 5 money line on that game between the Yankees and the Royals? You know what I mean? Like, do you get plus money on the Royals to lead through 5? Because like, it's Carlos Carrasco. If they're minus 142 on the game, would the Royals be like plus 120 on the first 5? I don't know, man. No Belling. Oh, the Yankee lineup came out. Oh, dude, now that should definitely be. So what's the deal with Belly? Rice, Judge, Wells, Goldie, Chisholm, Volpe, Dominguez, Grisham, Cabrera. A lot of bad lineup, but Royals plus 104 first. That's actually kind of low based on the game total, but a little better than a coin flip. That's probably not tempting enough, but all right, let's move on to the next game. Is that normal? I don't bet a lot of first fives. Is it normal for a team to be plus I guess 120 on the game, but 105 for first five? Like that those numbers aren't, I don't know. I can't sports bet. They get a Twins lineup, and it does look like Julian there. Tigers and the Brewers. Scooble on the bump. He's looking pretty doggone solid. Justin Henry Malloy doesn't have a number 0 in his name. Try to give him one. Jackson Churio. I saw somebody was talking about Churio, some prop. Was it stolen base? Stolen bases feel a little crazy. Like, I don't know what a true odd. I'm gonna sit down and calculate this. Like, is a stolen base is like theoretically less likely than a homer sometimes, or more variable than a homer, because it would mean the hitter likely gets on but is only on first base. Like, yeah, you'll steal third, but that is extremely situational. The guy like Churio scores off a single almost every time off of second, so you're kind of rooting for him to not hit a double or a homer. And then if he goes out there and hits 2 doubles and a homer, he's like an incredible play, but you got egg on your face because you need him to steal a base. At least with the hit props, you know he's swinging the bat 4 or 5 times and likely not trying to hit a single. I don't know. 4.2 run total for the Tigers. Brewers at 3.5. So I guess what I'm saying is, to take stolen base props, I think we got to be talking more than, like, I don't know, I probably want closer to long shot than anything that's like less than plus 500. Yeah. First 5 lines have more to do with starting pitch and matchup. Yeah, 100%, right? What up, Mike? The $5 150 max looking nice on DraftKings. More my entry price, even though I'm not going to do under 50. Hey man, you got that bankroll after the weekend, yeah? Those Rocky Series Connect jerseys may want to be blind. Really? I didn't think they were that bad. Let me double check, make sure we're talking about the same ones. These? Okay, so I like purple. Maybe the piping is a little weird. A little Montreal Expo-ish, you know? Yeah, all right. I'll get with you. It's an L. It's an L. It's an L. I think it's just the accent color is just not it for me. No, man, the back. I don't know. I tend to be a little different in Jersey. The special jerseys, whether or not like them. Like a couple years ago, the Yankees and the Dodgers played, and the Yankees had like black on black. I was like, that is so cool. I want those. And everybody else was hating on them. I was like, okay, F me. They look like Taco Bell uniforms. That's not wrong. And of course, you would pick up on that. The old Taco Bell. A roller ring contest. Hey, man. They would be better at roller rink than they are at baseball. I assume. It can't be worse, right? Schoolboy against the Brewers. So far, just a 23% K rate for him, but a 15.8% swing and strike rate. We expect that 23% is not going to sustain. A lot of that's from the first game against the Dodgers. We've seen 8Ks and 6Ks in the last two games. A good game against the Yankees. We'll go game by game on that one. Game log. Run is trash. Who's got the best City Connect jersey? Stuff Plus is incredible. Yeah, so I'm not gonna tax him too hard on that K rate. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go with 26. That's probably even too low. I'll go 28K on him. And the walk rate, we'll give him 5. Alexander, all called strikes, not missing bats. Oh my God, lefty against this Tigers lineup that kind of like against lefties. The WRC Plus will tell a different story. But we put them in a positive park versus what they're used to. We can somewhat neutralize the high K rates. And we get Torkelson, Green, Glaber. I took a pill and Ibanez. And I guess I gotta go fix his name. Live data. Ibanez? What's his name? Oh, I am such an idiot. Freak. All right. All right, so did I really do that? Whenever I import stats, they come with special accents for the for a lot of the Spanish influenced players, the Dominicans. So I always have to come in and find and replace all. I guess instead of the N with the accent, and replaced all with the letter U. So hopefully that's not too impactful, but I'll fix it. Just not now. Brewers got the most played appearance of any team this year versus lefties. Pretty bad lineup in general against Southpaws, like a team with WRC plus 80 against them. Savannah Bananas game versus the Rockies. Oh, I got him versus R. My bad. Yeah, I like him better against lefties. What's up, Rich? How you been? Yo, Rich, I'm gonna talk to you about water fast info, dude. It keeps popping up on me. I was like, dude, I just want to see if I'm man enough to do it. You went a month water fasting, yeah? Yeah, I hate that I'm interested in the Tigers. Well, let's put Scooble first, right? 100%. Giving him more strikeouts for sure. The Giants lineup, though, dude, if I never see Jung Ho Lee in Yankee Stadium again, it'll be too soon. God dang, that dude, it was personal. Get him out of here, dude. You're gonna take some shots on Alexander, the pitcher? Just wish I could believe that he's gonna get some more strikeouts, but yeah, if you just want to pick on a bad team, I'm not against it. We all are gonna have our own secret sauce tonight. I'm definitely going Scoople here. I kind of don't hate the Tigers, to be honest. Glaber, Ibanez, Green, Torkelson, Malloy. I mean, this is a lane. that might be fun. Dylan Dingler is a negative 16 WRC plus. What's the story on Dylan Dingler? Falsey, actually, yes, Falsey's it's on YouTube or on Twitter. It kept popping up. I don't even follow the guy, and I couldn't look away, dude. I was like, But then like random Twitter threads on health benefits and stuff like that were popping up. I was like, But I remember my boy Rich was ahead of the curve, man, a couple years ago. He's like, I'm doing this. I bet. So in the minors, Dylan Dingler is a lot better than his major league numbers so far. 293 average versus lefties last year. 14, oh, that's ribbies. 1 homer in 92 at bats with a 420 slug, 789 OPS. So you can definitely hit for average. God, I'm gonna throw Tigers in the blender. So maybe look at ownership projections. Like if we're thinking single entry, and we can't look away from Dustin May in the Dodger stack, is the Tigers by chance one of the low ownership stacks so we can blend in? You know what I mean? So we take a peek at our buddies in the stack projections. Versus ownership. Wow, I'm just a chalk donkey, I guess. Tigers look like they're 5th in stack ownership. They're actually higher than the Yankees. Interesting. What up, Dylan? How do you feel about Rodon since being a Yankee? I think when you got Rodon, you knew what you were signing up for, but you were signing up for the ceiling, or you get blinded by the ceiling of a Rodon, and you just don't realize the ride is rocky. You look at his stuff in Chicago, it's a little wild at times. Put him in a pitcher's park, Oracle. You put that in the bright lights of the Bronx. I don't know. So like, I have more empathy for Rodon and his failures because it was never not a range of outcome, and the Yankees should have known that. Unlike Marcus Stroman, who I never want to see pitch for the Yankees again. What are your thoughts on Easton Lucas 3.5 Ks? Rich, I'm all over that over. But it's already juiced. When I was looking at it, it was like crazy juice, dude. So you might ladder that up for better odds. I actually had him for, I'm in disagreement, I'll say. Yeah, it's already moved to 4.5 on the book, but it's juiced on the under at 4.5. I juiced up his K percentage, but I went with the books on outs projected, which was 15, and it gave me 5.6 K. So I'm still on the over 4.5, but 3.5 was like all day. You know what I mean? Yeah, Max Fried was one of my favorite pickups. All right, we're going Scooble and Tigers. So somebody was on Jackson Churio earlier. Maybe it's Pojan. Somebody mentioned the stolen base thing. The more I'm looking at this matchup, the more it does seem like if he were to get on, whether he outruns a ground ball or gets hit, gets walked, something like that, you're gonna have to be aggressive. So I don't think that's a crazy take, but I don't know the true odds versus probability, blah 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 blah, of that, but certainly feels like a spot where you're gonna have to be aggressive. Be aggressive. We got 3 games left on the docket. Take a pause for the cause. As you guys know, if you guys want access to the MLBgrind.com spreadsheet, the stack ratings, the bond detector, the pitcher projections that are handcrafted, they're like chicken tenders, but strikeout props. Go to MLBgrind.com, click premium membership, week pass, month pass, year pass, whatever you want. Get signed up, jump in the Discord. And then, yeah, we've been building out more and more stuff. We're gonna make more and more improvements to the aesthetics. One thing I definitely am brainstorming is how to not have 30 tabs at the bottom when there's 3 slates, 15 games, you know what I mean? So all that stuff I'm highly aware of, and this is not a what you see is what you get forever thing. It's all growing. So a good way to support stream, sports site, get a little something in return, get in the Discord. The Discord, by the way, you guys get to chatting. It does have the automated MLB news. So as Underdog's throwing out these lineups, the home run alerts, the barrel alerts, so you can feel sick when your player would have homered in 15 parks, but instead he got caught in deep center field. I think Judgy had one of those yesterday. The stolen base alerts. I was thinking about doing the strikeout one, but that feels like it was getting a little much. So we'd love to have you. Go check it out. Just heard your thing on fasting. Most I did was 3 days, but I did alternate day fasting for about 9 months. Alternate day? What does that mean? One day you don't eat, one day you do? We'll have to talk about that. Rich, we need to catch up. Rich, do you have MLB The Show? Oh no, you don't have PS5, huh? Or did you get a PS5? I forgot it's not on the old gens. Get some games in, dude. Me and Check, dude, it would blow Check's mind if you showed up. Also, there's a new Fortnite reload map coming soon, but I don't think you were in that too. So, but we gotta catch up, dude. Been a long time. Then I left you without a dope lineup to step to. We move on to the Houston Astros at St. Louis. And we are thumbing on this one. And Rich, what are you into now? You into you out here sports betting, prop betting, prize picking? I wish, dude. I wish I could get sports books a little easier. Like I could get them if we wanted to. I want to deposit and withdraw crypto, and you know, you know what I mean. Just want to be able to have an app on my phone like everyone else at the steakhouse and gamble, dude. Is that so much to ask? I don't talk politics. I don't, because I don't follow them. But literally everything's legal in this effing state. How is gambling not one of them? Kill some dude for stealing your horse. But what you can't do, bet on March Madness. That's just what you can't do. Cardinals lineup is confirmed. They have a 3.6 run total. Same as the Astros. I didn't finish the Alexander strikeout, but we'll get there after this. Remember, Valdez has increased his strikeout overall numbers from perfectly fine 24% to 29% so far this season, and a double-digit swinging strike rate, the 12% up from 11% the last 2 seasons as well. So even if we do call for some regression to those numbers, those are still great numbers, and the ground ball rate still pretty high. The left-handed ground ball rate, though, a little alarming, but teams are not really going to compensate for that, especially not on this short sample. So kind of like we got with Clay Holmes up there, even if you felt like he wasn't going to have his best stuff, his worst stuff is going to send the ball on the ground, and you're going to have to paper cut your way to glory. And this is a Cardinals lineup that one is going to be challenged by Framber's negative launch angle. Two has just 3 players in the confirmed with really good numbers against lefties, and the rest is meh. And you get the benefit of Busch Stadium being a pretty plus pitcher's park. So I think Framber, because of his skill set, historically projects as a better Fanduel play because he is way more likely to eat 6+ innings than not as a contact guy that just gets through outs faster. But I don't think 8,800 is enough to get me away from him either, with all the other pluses going his way. So I think we rank him as my top interest from this game so far. Sonny Gray, 30% K rate, both sides of, or since the beginning of last year overall. The 4.92 expected ERA, a little bit alarming. It looks like that is the product of some home runs, an elevated xFIP to righties so far this season. The hard contact rate is still pretty high, but something that could be suppressed or forgiven in a park like this, like we've seen. The Astros projected lineup, not massive in the strikeout department, but once you hit the 30% K rate and you sustain it over 160 innings, you get to that tier where it almost doesn't matter. Pena is going to be just like, oh boy, isn't he? I'm gonna have to just re-import Jeremy Pena. Get that fixed while we're looking at it. Pena. All right, that adds even lower K rate. So let's give him his 30% K rate, but that's going to be up against a 19% K rate. Let's give Framber his. I'm gonna give him 25. 8. I'll give him 9 on the walk. Gotta get lefties out. And then Sonny, we're gonna give 6. So 9 and 6. And then Framber's probably already at 18 outs, yeah? Maybe 17 and a half juiced over, or 18. It is not there. We don't have a line. Well, I'm absolutely gonna project him for 18. And for Sonny, we're gonna give him 17 and a half, right? 15. He hasn't gone well over a certain pitch count, so let me go 16 and a half for now, and then we'll let the market correct that later. VPN won't get you liquor before noon on a Sunday. I like that. Even those fasts where you don't eat 16 hours and have 8-hour window are good for your health. Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I don't know. I got fascinated by that Fauci stream, bro. I'm a loser. You're just prize picking to see stick solely to Giants game. Junk hose on fire like over pairing. Nice. Do I use Fliff or Rebet? I don't know what either of that is, so no. Alcohol Baja Blast from Mountain Dew is calling me like Pokey in the movie New Jack City. Pojan he's a character. Let's go grade 2. Both run total is really low, so we gotta respect the pitching here. Let's move on. More lineups bleeding out. After we get through the Dodgers game, I'll go back, sweep some lineups, and we could tackle any other questions, comments, concerns, look for some leans. You guys got something specific you want us to research, we can look at it. I've been grinding PrizePicks quite a bit so far this season, Rich. I haven't really found the secret sauce I've been trying to feel around on $1 units. And man, it feels like I might be the king of 5 out of 6 or 4 out of 5. And that really makes me want to just be able to bet those props individually. But if you grind it, I know you're smart enough to make decent enough cards. I was doing a lot of correlated cards, right? So like I would take a pitcher's outs under or fantasy under or over a discounted earned run, like over 1.5, and then I would put it against the guys against them that were most likely to do it, that type of stuff. And then I would throw like a home run card out there and hedge it with like fantasy points. Decent success. What I did like is like some days I can go 3 cards out of 20 and profit. So that's kind of cool. Jameson Taillon, contact pitcher, elevated barrel rate so far this season, facing a Padres team that pretty good. It's their better split. They have a 4.2 run total, and the Cubs are coming from LA, right? Who did they throw yesterday? They actually went deep in the pen yesterday. You probably don't get Caleb Diebar today. You probably don't get Julian Merriweather. Presley's probably available, sure. Porter Hodge, Nate Pearson, Eli Morgan. Wasn't he a Guardian starter at one point? So immediately off the bat, we're gonna go Padres interest. Taillon to the beginning of last year, definitely leaky in the home run department to lefties. So far this year, he's given up power to righties. Was a guy that at one point you can count on to eat some innings, keep the ball on the ground, but lately that's kind of changed on him. So I think we just bet on talent against a contact pitcher with elevated xFIPs. We go Padres in the blender. Dylan Cease kind of fell apart against the Athletics. 4 innings, 9 hits, 9 earnings, 3 walks. It was not what you want. It still has a 3.6 expected ERA. Sometimes baseball is cruel. In that game, he had almost an 80% first pitch strike, a 10% swing and strike rate. .432 xFIP. It's a 6% barrel rate. Like I'm very much willing to just forgive him. He's facing a tough Cubs team though. And this team is so good offensively that if they don't get you, they can get to your bullpen like we saw against Roki Sasaki on Saturday. So let's see what San Diego's pen's looking like. Did we just... They're full fresh reset. Everyone's available, but they're still good. I'm gonna go Cease in the blender, but he's gonna be in the shadows of the other guys at his price range and better matchups for sure. And then Cubs, if nothing else, a Substack is in play for me. Tucker, Bush, Michael Bush, dude, what a revenge series he had there against the Dodgers. Nuts. And then Suzuki's hurt, yeah. Didn't start yesterday. That definitely dampens things if he can't be part of the fun. But then it We saw Pete Crow Armstrong did step up. Not really a power guy for me, but a lot of speed. And clearly yesterday we saw some power. So still take the Substacks in play. But I wouldn't be too committed. It'd be like, all right, where's Kyle Tucker falling? Give me a little boost, maybe some Armstrong. But Cease, last 3 years, his main problem has been against lefties, elevated xFIP, some homers allowed. So it would basically be Kyle Tucker, late night hammering it. But he's going to be going the same time as the chalk stack, so whatever. Jung Ho seems like a solid pick tonight. Can steal a base if he doesn't hit for power, and Taiwan should regress soon. As before, I feel like he's Rick Porcello. Taiwan? Yeah, Taiwan is 20% carry rate, something. Should regress from the 0 ERA. I'm in agreement with you. Yeah. All right, Pojan, appreciate that. To look at their advertisement says sweepstakes, so they kind of bend the rules legal. It's called Fliff and Rebet. I'll check it out. If anyone's doing the Martingale method with Ohtani home runs, you're due. Bruh. Dude, I've never thought about doing that for sports betting. That's hilarious. Do you adjust the unit for the odds of the day, or is he just always plus 300, plus 400? Yeah, Cubs are nasty. Only play Cease if he's really low owned. You're talking like single digits. Let's see. Trying to see ownership on pitching right now. Right now, it looks like Cease is lined up to be the third highest owned pitcher, so it doesn't look like you have to. He's actually higher than Dustin May, which I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree with that, but what do I know? It's just I would. There's not many guys I wouldn't pitch against the Cubs right now, dude. It's rough. Let's get to that game, or not the Cubs, the Rockies. Jesus, brain. Let's fill out this pitching projection real quick. So 18% on Taiwan. Walk rate 5%. Dylan Cease, I'll give him a 28% carry rate. But that could be a way to get different than if you just don't like Cease and he is third highest owned. You just go the other way. Right. You have outs on that game. 17 for Tyon. 17.5 for Cease. All right, main event. My goodness. Like if you do the Martingale method for Ohtani, you have to be betting with the winning, not the unit, right? Like you're probably not gonna get the same odds for Ohtani to homer against Skubal that you would against Senzatella, right? But one day you might have to bet $2, and the next day you have to bet $4, or vice versa. I feel like is that how y'all run that? The martingale, dude. You try martingale on a roulette table? Oh my god. So addicting and painful at the same time. Remember when I first got into gambling when I was like 18, 19, and my boy was like doing that at a electronic roulette table at a at WinStar in like Oklahoma, and you could the min bet was 25 cents, but the way they got you was max bet was $50. So once you hit the max bet, you're in trouble if you're doing that. And that was kind of the snake eyes that kept getting them. Fun times though. Rockies have a run total of 3. Dodgers have a run total of 5.7. It's cores on the road. Without a doubt, Dodgers top of the interest list here. And then Dustin May going as well. Now, May's overall metrics right now, a little problematic. And maybe I'm a fool. But I kind of think he'll lean more like a strikeout pitcher here. We saw it against Atlanta, 13.6% K rate, and then Curtin calls with a swing and strike rate, and then Curtin calls it with a 2% swing and strike rate against the Nationals. But the Nationals are a little bit scrappy. Guess they are the league average and overall K rate, but let's flip that, yeah. Let's go. They're 10th in K percentage against righties. In inverse K percentage means they strike out the 10th fewest or 10th lowest. Toronto number 1, by the way. Colorado's at 30%. Dude, I don't think Dustin May is a contact pitcher in this spot. Might look like a dummy tonight. What is the line on his Ks? Five and a half with juice on the under. 6 pitches, 6 innings. Dude, I gotta disagree. Seven and a half Ks on Price, but for who? For May? Don't see that. I don't know if you've been out the game for a little bit, Rich, but PrizePicks added this mode where they do demon stuff. So that's 7.5 for May is like boosted odds. Do they even offer 8.5? But the true line looks like it's 5.5 and juice on the under. Six and a half. I don't think it's 6.5 either. Either way, man. Dude, I don't think Dustin May is gonna be like this crazy contact guy, especially not against this lineup. I'm just gonna have to go with my gut and disagree with it a little bit. I'll give him a 23% K rate. It's gonna go crazy anyway, probably. Sure, I'll look like a dummy tonight when he has 2 strikeouts in 7 innings. Senzatella. So 12%. Yeah, the demons will get you. Matchup will draw ownership. Yeah, it should. Absolutely should. I will say, looking at ownership projections, they have them 5th at 14%. And I think most projection systems in terms of fantasy points and whatever are fueled by the markets, meaning the market thinks he's only getting 5 strikeouts tonight, and it, that's feeding into projection models. I could see how the other pitchers usurp him, but I also feel like there's a little bit of human element here. That's like, it's the Rockies and the Dodgers are, what are they, minus 350 favorites, bro? That's insane. It's not insane, but it's insane to see that number on, and it's not like the best pitcher in the league on the bump. Sometimes you would see that years back on like a DeGrom or a Strasburg or I don't know, just minus 300s. Clayton Kershaw in his heyday versus a bet like minus 350 for a Dustin May start. There's so many conflicting data points where I'm just like, dude, I don't know, man. I'd be looking for a strikeout per inning, 6 innings min, and then you might go crazy. And Dustin's from what I watched in that Atlanta game, he's one of those emotional the adrenaline guys. So if he's firing it off early, man, I don't know. We'll give him 17.5 outs. We'll go 14 on Senzatella. On 17.5 outs, it gives me 6.65 Ks, and I gave him a 23% K rate, which maybe that's generous. So don't we'll put the bankroll on his overs, but I just feel like he's not. I don't know. Like, what's the lowest number we should give him? Before 23, 37, 20, 22. I'm sticking with 22. I think even at 20 it's gonna give me 6, so I don't know. Yeah, it's projected lower on the C's. Like I said, if I didn't ever looked at ownership projections, I would just assume he's number 1. But I guess 9,300 is a uncomfortable click for many. I don't overthink it. The main cease ownership. That's what I'm thinking, Trav. I just can't see in the human element here. I feel like May has to be more liked, if nothing else, in his matchup than Cease, especially considering the Cubs are, what are they, the second, they're top 3 in runs scored. They might be top 1, top 2, and I'm not 2. May didn't play last season. But you mean in 2023? Yeah, I don't know, man. Again, and if he goes out and shoves tonight, like that's not a victory lap, because it's the Rockies. And he can come out the next game and be a contact pitcher. I don't know. Always not laugh when Dodgers lose a game with $1 trillion lineup. Not only when they lose a game, but when they score 0. Like, that's pretty crazy. Is it all right to use Gray, Clay Holmes, and Grant Holmes to play pitchers for tonight? I mean, if that's giving you Dodger stacks, which this probably is, because you got to pay 65 for Ohtani, 62 for Mookie. In that bubble, yes. But me personally, like we talked about it like yesterday, the day before, there's going to be slates that offer so many good pitchers that I call it the double barrel slate. You're going to need double 30s. We saw it yesterday. I don't know if this is quite that slate, but you might need double 25s. So I would say in that list, I certainly would think Gray is in play. Tough matchup. Clay Holmes at 7,500, I think is a good value. Not my favorite matchup, but I've been a sucker for him all year. They get 10 Ks and just 23 points. That's how. I'm a machine. La Machinke. What he's called DJ LeMahieu. What up, Andrew? The matchup for me. Rockies always surprised the Dodgers in LA. Didn't they sweep them there last season? Man. I don't know, man. If you think about this, Dodgers have been at home. They've been sleeping in their own beds, primetime television for a while now. Rockies have just been getting bent over. Now they're traveling to LA, get bent over some more. So I don't know. I can't come up with any split that's advantageous for the Rockies here, other than that's baseball, Susan. Let's go fill out projections for Alexander. And then we do have some lineups that came out. And then I'm here for all the hot takes, all the questions, comments, concerns, any specific guy you want us to research, a home run, blah, 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 blah. Let's do it. We got time today. It's 3 p.m. Although, I don't know. Is anybody else streaming that I don't want to step on their toes? Alexander, 15 outs. We'll give him 22 and 7. Just try to give away a couple of points for the quality start. So Skeensy, I'll give him 2. I'll give him 3. 17.5 for Hawk. No, that one's crazy. Like Hawk having such a high out total. I don't think it's crazy, but yeah. Let's give Baz 1. Give Clay Holmes 2. Give Framber 3. Give Cease 1. And Dustin May, I'm gonna give him 1.5, but my heart, maybe it's a heart play more than anything. Easton Lucas, 2.5 Ks. That's probably your Green Goblin, right? It's the prop market implying Dustin May could have a shorter leash than expected. I mean, they're giving us 5.2 innings. What's the bullpen looking like? I do think he's one of the guys that, and we've seen with Roki too, like Dave Roberts is not in a rush to leave these guys out there. Bullpen, Blake Trinan, bullpen's pretty rested. I would say you give him a shot at 6, but you yank him at any shot of trouble. And it's hard to get in trouble against this Rockies team, so but I wouldn't expect him to go too far past 80 pitches, I guess. That's been kind of what we've seen, yeah. 86, 81. I think you give him a chance at 6. But yeah, if at 17 outs he's in trouble, you go get him. Make a PrizePicks home run card game. All right, let's fill out some confirmed lineups, and then yeah, we can maybe dive a little into the home run. So Nats came out with Colwood, Ruiz, Nate Lowe, Josh Bell, Luis Garcia. Need to get some lunch, dude. Might have to go get some lunch before lock. Nasim Nunez. O'Neal Cruz in the leadoff spot. I saw a clip of McCutcheon on some show with Caribus, I think. He said he wished he stayed a Pirate his whole career. Do ya? I don't know, man. I get having some loyalty to an organization. That organization, in hindsight, has fumbled some bags when it comes to talent. If anything, I wish I was drafted by another team that wouldn't ruin Cole, Glasnow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Clay Holmes was a random nobody in their bullpen. Like, how about no? Nice lineup as projected. Phillies throwing Stott, Turner, Harper, Schwarber, Asti, Real Muto. I will say Pirates fans seem like cool people though. I've never seen anything where I was like, oh dude, Pirates fans are like, most fan bases have fans that you could be irked by. Pirates fans seem cool. They love their freaking team. That kid that got the Skeens card, good kid. India, Bobby Witt, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvi, Michael Massey, Michael Garcia. Yeah, this stack is looking nice. Evan Bizio, Drew Waters. Maybe it's because you're a fan of a franchise that's been like less than average for a long time. You have to just like baseball. Like, no expectations. It's like the Cubs, right? Austin Wells batting third. Dazzy Volpe. Brent Grisham. Red Sox and Rays. Duran, Devers, Breggy, Abreu, Story, Casas, Campbell, Hamilton. Rays lineup: Diaz, Lau, Caminero, Aranda, Chris Morel, Meisner, Taylor Walls, Eddie Jansen, Jake Mangum. Confirm that. Blue Jays lineup came out: Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Santander, Jimenez, Ernie Clement, Ellen Roden. Oh my god, this lineup just started sucking like crazy out of nowhere. Jesus. Miles Straw. And that guy scaled the fences in Yankee Stadium. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, Vientos is in the 5-hole. Jesse Wanka, Orens, Aaron Taylor, Luis Angel Acuna, Twins, Julian, Buxton, Castro, Walner in a cleanup spot. They're moving him around. Rhea in the 5-hole. Looks like the Twins are trying to figure out a lineup that can work. Somebody's knocking at my front door. This is not a good time for that. There's been this guy that keeps coming trying to mow my grass. I think it's him. Not now. I feel like I can hear the lawnmower. Go away. Bring her out. All right. Yeah, it's the lawnmower guy. At least the Cubs randomly won a World Series. Yeah. Jays might have, well, not the Jays specifically, but the Expos would have. I feel like the Expos would have gave y'all that World Series in the lockout season, dude. That team was looking good. All right, let's go get the bomb detector in order now that we have all the games in. Ohtani, Judge, Normal, Yastrzemski, Bobby Witt, Mookie, Torkelson, Salvi, Adames, Wade, Devers, Junko Lee. A lot of high ratings here tonight. Nice. Also, let's go get the main stack rating going. Let's go take out Washington. It. Let's go in Philadelphia. Yankees. God dang, that's the highest stack rating I've ever seen. 6 1/4. Yankees 2. Let's go with the main slate pitcher projections. The Lort. I don't want to. There's this one guy that kept coming to my house trying to mow my grass. And I don't want this to sound like I'm bragging, because I'm not. I'm not proud of it. But he was man, he was tweaking. And he came to my house a couple times. The first time he came, mowed the grass, and I gave him like $60 on Cash App. And I think I paid him twice like that. He just shows up. I don't know who he is. He's just some crackhead with a lawnmower, and I need my lawn mowed. And then one day he showed up to mow my grass. I was like, all right, mow it. It came time to pay him. I pulled out the app to pay him in Cash App. He goes, no, man, I need cash. Well, I don't got cash, bro. It's 2025. What do you mean? And he like stepped, and then this guy must have been 5'0" nothing. He like stepped up and he was like, no, I need cash. You don't understand. I was like, well, you need to get the F out of here. And then so this was like 4 weeks ago. I still got a scratch on my knuckle. I punched him. And I swear that dude came back to try and mow my grass again, and now I'm wondering. And I told him, I was like, dude, don't ever come. I punched you, stupid. Don't come here. This is not. You're not. No. I wonder if that was him just now knocking at the door. High school will bring it back 0. Crackheads, man. They're dumb. I don't. What is going on with that? Projection. Google. Oh, I didn't give him outs. 18. And we'll give him 2 for his quality start. Well, that gives us our main slate pitcher projections. I got May at the top, man. Oh, I don't even have May for a quality start, and he's at the top. Yeah, I do. Well, I give him 1.5, but what? Yeah, Rich. I don't know, man. Dude, you know, I don't like fighting, but in the last like 6 months, I've had to put hands on some people. And every time it's just like completely justify whatever, but like I'm literally so curious right now to see if that was him. Somebody was just at my door knocking, and I heard a lawnmower. I was like, there's just no way he came back. You let the man cut your grass and pay. I was trying to pay him. Like I pay you every. I like, who carries cash, bro? I pay you all this time with cash at him. All of a sudden you need cash. But that like kind of let me know he was a tweaker, dude. He needed to go give somebody cash for some fix. It's whatever, man. Just mow the grass, put the fries in the bag. But if you're in my neighborhood, it's kind of hard to not make money. If you come up to my door respectfully and ask to mow my grass, I appreciate the hustle, and I don't like to mow my grass. So, but this guy ruined it by being an idiot. Should say you need cash forehand. Yeah, that, and it was a multiple deal thing, but I literally still have a cut on my knuckle, a little red. So we were gonna go look for homers, yeah. So we'll pull up home runs and find what's most likely to homer. Bro, in September maybe, I was in this parking lot down the street, and there's a it's like a shopping center. It's like a Papa John's, there's a Planet Fitness, whatever. And this one guy was, I don't want to say what led up to it, but I ended up slamming him on his face. He had his old lady, his dog, it ripped his face up. And there was a cop in the parking lot. This was, I think, September. And the guy went, like, after I slammed his old lady, he got in between. And, you know, me, I'm laid back kind of like that. Like, I didn't want to do it. People try to test yo gangster, you know what I mean? Anyway, they go away. The cop rolls up, and I was like, oh man, he finna arrest me. Cop was dying laughing, bro. I guess that guy was like a known problem for them. And he like fist bumped me and drove off. I was like, what is this town, bro? What is my life? Like, I literally thought I was finna get some paperwork. And then I just went home. This town's crazy sometimes. Been getting your rep up in the streets lately? Nah, man. Y'all know what I do for fun. And then before I was in the DFS streets, I was in the prison streets as a uniform guy. So my fighting, like, I got nothing to prove, right? I'm not out here trying to fight. Every now and then people will test you for no reason, and you just kind of have to stand your ground. I'm gonna look at each game real quick for a homer. What stands out? Yeah, I thought he was coming to put some paperwork on me, dude. Basically free to smack around with star stuff. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, and like I said, I don't brag about it. That stab story. Oh man, I don't know if I got time for that. I'm gonna tell y'all about getting stabbed and laughing about it years later. I think I did tell that to EMAC. But Grant Holmes, going back to the beginning of last year, has a lot of elevated home runs to righties. Vladdy's still kind of waiting. I feel like Soto, I mean, this should be the freest homer of Soto's life, yeah? We got wind blowing out in Target. To right field, boost that pull side. Ryan has allowed a 50% aggregate fly ball rate last couple years to lefties. Elevated hard contact rate. Hasn't allowed a homer yet this season, but that's just happenstance. We got wind blowing to right, 16 miles an hour. We got Juan Soto. Or my boy Unique. If your boy doesn't smash that one, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Put him on the card, yeah. Lindor, Soto, Nemo, yeah, those three. Those are good picks. I think so. Glaber against a lefty. Lefty fly ball problems. This Miller Park, 9% above average in homers to righties. Spencer Torkelson makes a lot of sense too. You guys were hyping him up. Who's been swinging a better stick right now? As far as the pull data, yeah. Let's go. Team Tigers. Batters. And in this left. Spencer, dude. Spencer's going crazy with that pull. I think Spencer's number 2 here. So Spencer over half a home run. You like the Stremski? Inversely here, we're not taking anything against Schoolbowl. If you grab 2 Tigers, I don't think you're out of your mind, because the bullpen for the Brewers hasn't been great either. Hey, did we talk about the Giants? Is that... There it is. Against Walker. Why does Walker randomly have a 54% ground ball rate to lefties? What's that about? It's got to be a coincidence, yeah. But you get him in this park. This park is really nice to lefties. 28% above average in homers allowed. Yastrzemski is 3rd on the bomb detector, so we can do that. Here, what up, Renza? Soto, Torkelson, Yaz. I think we got to pick on Cookie here, dude. Vinny, Cookie with a crazy home run. The lefties, Vinny Pasquantino is probably the play, yeah. Although Cookie gives it up to everybody, so we could just see who's swinging the best stick over there for the Royals. Willie Adames for a Jack Martender. Jonathan India. Interesting. I mean, there's really no bad click here, but India's intriguing. 62.5% pull rate. How high did India get in the bomb detector? That's surprising. I don't think he got that high. 375. I mean, that's not nothing. Bobby Witt Day. I'm with you on Vinny being like the gut call, but I'm really surprised by this number. We can also go look at just barrel rates, yeah. What's up, Ranza? You in Carolina, right? How's the weather out there, dude? It's freaking hot here. Friggin' hot. Salvi's up there. Salvi has the highest barrel per plate appearance. Bobby Witt second. Vinny's up there too. I don't really think there's a wrong way to go here, but I'll go with you on Vinny as the one. Billy Gunn. One, two, three, four. That's a strong four right there. Start getting to 5 and 6. By the way, you can do 6 now and get 2,000 extra your buy-in. So you can turn $1 into $2,000. But understand, it's ridiculous. So you like Adames, huh? Oh, you're in DC? Okay. Hawk against lefties. Brandon Lau. Aranda. We know Aranda's always breaking the bond detector. How far is he up today? Adames is up there too. The Giants are all up there. You probably get at least 2 homers from there. It's not crazy to get 2 guys on the same home run card from the same team. What did I just? Oh, Aranda. Aranda came in at 3.9. Better than the chat, yeah. Subconscious. I think we double dip on a couple teams. I think 2 Giants make sense. 2 Royals kind of make sense. I mean, Jung Ho Lee is just possessed right now. But Adames, I kind of like that call. Maybe they start a little back to back, like the cover of Lethal Weapon. All the Royals look good too. We're definitely going to get multiple homers from the Royals today. Salvi seems like the guy. We go with the barrel rates here. Let's go Salvi. Then Thomas is interesting. Jung Ho Lee is on fire. Here, what up, Rob? Adames went hitless versus Phillies last season. Okay, that literally doesn't matter. Come on, Rich. I taught you better. What is that? Splits versus uniform? Come on now. Willie for the bag. I think Willie does have the higher bomb detector rating. It's Yastrzemski, Adames, Wade, and Lee. Adames is up there. And Walker. .225 ISO. Maximizes at bats. Who's in the pen for Philly? Everyone. Matt Strom, a lefty, pitched yesterday. Jose Alvarado is not a bum, but he's the closer. So, Enter Bank. They actually have 3 lefties. So, how's Adames look when we split it? Dude, did you guys? Oh, he sucks against lefties. I saw this interview clip yesterday of Adames talking about how he could not see the ball in Tropicana, and everyone thought he was like full of it. And then as soon as he leaves Tropicana, he's the GOAT. And then he was like, and I hear other players say the same thing. Nelson Cruz, same thing. He sucked in Tropicana. It's hard to see the baseball there. So give Adames a little credit. All right, I'll leave it there. We're at 5 here, and if you guys wanted to get crazy, so Soto, Torkelson, Yaz, Vinny Pasquantino, and Salvi. Those I think we can all justify with matchups, bomb rating, park factors, and pitcher. Yeah, but you're only getting plus 70, 60. Your playouts are different. All right. All right, you said K props. Once he have any numbers against Senzatella, probably in that division against Forrest. But I don't ever really look at BVP. There's some fun ones, but what was it? Adley against Jose Barrios. He had like 4 homers. He didn't homer yesterday. You know what I mean? Like it's all small sample, but usually the overall metrics will put you there anyway. Said strikeouts. So we do have in our pitcher projection tab projected strikeouts based on projected or confirmed matchups. So Baz is at the top. And usually what we've seen with PrizePicks is that we get a lot of what I call push lines, which is even numbers. So the actual number for Shane Baz is 6. So like you could take that and it would just push the card if you needed it. And we got him, and if it's over half a point, then I'm a little bit intrigued. But it is over half a point, so I would lean the over there. Dustin May, I'm absolutely on the over. I don't know. That's 5. I would take that. Honestly, you would take the 5.5 for the Goblin, right? Or the Demon, whatever that is. Like, because you want it to be over 5 anyway. I don't know. That seems a little weird. We get the same thing with bad. There's so many different numbers on these pitchers right now. I used to have to set the line myself with the Demons. So 5.5, 6 or 6.5. Yeah, why wouldn't you just take the 6.5? That's what I don't know. Scooble's at 6.5. Framber. Play Easton Lucas. I probably like him over whatever they got. They got him at 4 or 4.5. You can 8x all 3 of these at those Demon numbers. Those are probably 3 I like as far as discrepancies go. Devers versus Cole. Shut up. Anything else, chat? scroll up, make sure I'm not missing nothing. Got an Astros lineup that dropped. Rich, are you on Discord, man? Remember you said you got hacked when you didn't. Yeah. Uve, Paredes, Alvarez, Walker, Diaz. All right, Astros lineup 20% carry now. Percent difference in me in the middle at 25. Wow, wait, is that check? Check is wow and Rich is roughness. Old call of the night. All right. What we do? We don't need to. Okay, we don't need to bring up Yankee BVP. Old call of the night. I don't know. I can't even think of something crazy. Mets crush Joey Ryan. I think that's fair. Little jet stream. I don't know if I don't know how Target feels if it in neutralized weather, but I'm just looking at this wind blowing out to right. What 3 stacks you going with on the main slate via the stack rating? You can't get away from the Dodgers. You just can't. They're freaking inevitable in any projection model. Past that, I think the Mets make a lot of sense that we were just talking about. I think the Royals, man. I think the Royals. I felt like this with the D-backs game. The Royals should go crazy, bro. I don't want them to, but they should. Like this 1 through 6, even Michael Garcia, dude. These numbers are all red, and he has a negative WRC plus. This dude was still some bags, man. How many swipes this season so far? He only has 1 this season. He had 37 last season. So I don't know, man. I don't want to have to stack them, but pre-flop, it's looking like they're in a good spot. Play the show. Yeah, I'd be carrying check in the show all the time, dude. I've lost the chat. So I would say Dodgers are you can't get away from them, Jim. Royals, if can we get a decent ownership on the Royals to offset Dodgers? Yeah. I'm gonna look at low owned stacks versus what I like. Royals are like 5th in ownership. Actually, Royals are 3rd in ownership. I'm just a donkey, dude. Looking at the lower owned teams versus what might work. The Mets kind of fall middle of the pack. Yankees kind of do too. There's a lot of love on the Braves, dude. What am I missing there? Shane Baz is... Oh, no. Okay, I'm an idiot. That's what it is. It's Easton Lucas. I think Lucas is better than the market is giving him credit for. I think they just see a lefty. Like his minor league stuff was absolutely fine, right? Maybe the Braves are overvalued as the number 2 projected owned stack, with this tied for second in team total. Malloy for Detroit. I like the Tiger stack for sure. The Braves lineup just came out. Not anything crazy, yeah. Albies, Riley, Olsen. There's no Ozuna, right? Dude, I mean, that's go smash the other way, dude. Ozuna is their best player. It's not even close. Right? That's not an error. There's literally no Ozuna, yeah? That's pretty significant in my opinion. I don't know. I'm already kind of gut leaning towards Lucas as being undervalued, and now you took out the best player on the opposing team. We'll probably see some line movement, dude. I mean, look, you just threw Eli White in the lineup, Stuart Fairchild in the lineup. For what? 3 guys with positive WRC plus, dude? I don't know, dude. That seems wrong. What happened? Support him. Interest was so bad. Nah, it's all right. All right, that's our slate. Tomorrow, I think is much like today. Something minor, yeah. Tomorrow is much like today. So do you guys want to do another day stream tomorrow? And then we can do a night stream in double header tomorrow. Day stream and night stream. And then jump into the rest of the week. Probably would be night streams because of all these early start times. That sound good? Another day stream tomorrow. And then we're back on night shift. I'm gonna get out of here. But we'll be tying up the spreadsheet. You guys can jump in that Discord, jump in the spreadsheet, go to MLBgrind.com. If you got anything else for me, Twitter or x.com/DunDacker. Thoughts on San Diego? Yeah, Taillon's a contact guy. San Diego is less than middle of the pack in projected ownership. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think they're fine. I have them as my number 1 interest over Cease in that one. Catch you guys on the flip side. Hope you guys crush it tonight. Back tomorrow. Probably at the same time. Good luck. God bless. Go with some money.